Today we're going to be talking about false awakenings. Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining in another video, and in this video we're going to be talking about false awakenings and how to turn those into a lucid dream. If you have woken up in the morning and started to go about your day just to appear back in bed and realize that you actually waking up was a dream, then you have had a false awakening. False awakenings are really useful for inducing lucid dreams or even out-of-body experiences. So in this video, we're going to be talking about false awakenings and what you can do with them and how you can actually use them to experience lucid dreams or out-of-body experiences. And also, if you are not subscribed to this channel yet and you have been enjoying the content that I've been creating, then make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. All right, let's get into it. So as we just talked about, a false awakening is where you dream of waking up and going about your day, but you are actually still asleep. Many people may experience false awakenings many times over in one morning, actually. I've had even 3 to 4 false awakenings back to back certain days. So if you ever wake up and just to wake up right back again, and sometimes it happens repeatedly over and over, then that is a false awakening. And we can really use false awakenings to induce lucid dreams or out-of-body experiences. It really is all about building a habit of awareness and critical thinking through reality checks. That way, if you get in the habit of doing reality checks as soon as you wake up, if you do happen to have a false awakening, the first thing you're going to do is actually do a reality check and realize that you are not actually awake and you are dreaming. So it makes it really easy to induce lucid dreams if we get in the habit of doing effective reality checks. And like I said, I would definitely make a habit of doing reality checks as soon as you wake up, because you are almost guaranteed to have a lucid dream every single time you have a false awakening. So there are 4 main steps habitually that you want to start doing every single morning to turn any false awakening that you have in the morning or any time you wake up during your sleeping period into a lucid dream or an out-of-body experience. So we are going to get into those 4 steps right now. Make sure to do all of these every single morning and you will start to get in the habit of doing them. And then when you do have a false awakening and you actually wake up but you're not really awake, you'll automatically do these steps and turn that into an instant lucid dream. So let's get into it. The first habit that you want to build is waking up and asking the question. And the reason why I say the question is because when you are doing reality checks, you want to make sure to do a physical reality check. So like checking your hands, checking the time, counting your fingers, trying to poke your finger through your palm, any of the stuff that we've talked about in the past. You want to tie that with some questions. So how do I know that I'm awake right now? Is there anything weird happening in my environment around me? What was I doing 10 minutes ago? Do I know where I am and who I am with? But out of all of those questions, they are all important, but if you're going to pick even just one question to ask yourself, I would definitely make sure that it is something related to if you could be dreaming at the moment. But it is good to ask yourself a lot of different questions, because if you just do one question every time or even just one reality check, you'll start to get used to it and it won't be as effective. So make sure to try tons of different reality checks and ask different questions at different times. So after you ask yourself the question or the questions first thing in the morning, you want to actually do the reality check. So after doing the mental reality check listed above, you're going to do the physical reality check, checking your hands or counting your fingers or anything like we said before. But you can also do these at the same time, which is what I recommend. So as I am counting my fingers or trying to poke my finger through my palm or any reality check that I decide to do, I will ask myself these questions at the same time and kind of look around in my environment to see if anything is off or dreamlike. The third step is to observe the outcome of your questions and your reality checks. This seems silly, but for some reason it gets skipped over a lot. You will see this in your dreams sometimes. If you do a reality check but don't pay attention to the actual result and then just go about your day in the dream, it's because we usually assume we're awake or we try to rush through our reality checks. So we start to actually habitually do that in the dream, missing our chance to get lucid. So make sure that when you're counting your fingers, you really observe the outcome. So, okay, I have 10 fingers like usual. Or if you're trying to poke your finger through your palm, you look at the result. Oh, my hand is pretty solid. My finger is not going through my palm. Just observe the outcome and be really thorough with your reality checks, and it really will pay off. And this is a really fun thing to do. So the fourth step to this is writing in your journal. Each morning you want to write in your dream journal before you even leave the bed, because we can tend to forget our dreams if we just get up too quickly and don't write our dreams down. And if we make a habit of writing our dreams down before we even leave the bed, when we wake up in a false awakening, we will actually dream of waking up and writing in our dream journal. And it usually is really, really hard to write things or read things in the dream. And so if you get in the habit of writing in your dream journal and you happen to have a false awakening that same morning, then there's a good chance that will get you lucid on its own. And especially if you're doing the previous 3 steps, you will be able to observe when things are off and ask yourself those questions to determine if you could be dreaming or not. I feel like most people will have at least one false awakening in their lifetime, and I mean, I've had a lot of false awakenings, and I know a lot of you guys have too from your comments and the questions that I've gotten. And some of you have not even had your first lucid dream yet, but you do have false awakenings, so you are seriously so close to having your first lucid dream. So I wanted to make this to kind of help out with those false awakenings so you can actually start turning them into experiences. And I wanted to give you guys 3 more tips, just kind of personal tips that I would recommend for creating a more solid lucid dreaming practice off of your false awakenings. This one was already discussed in this video, but I really want to make it clear that this is probably the thing that will get you lucid the most from your false awakenings, and that is doing a reality check as soon as you wake up. So as soon as I wake up, I will do my reality check. I'll ask my questions as I'm doing the physical reality check, and then I will write in my dream journal right after. So definitely try to get in the habit of doing that every morning, and you will definitely see it pay off. The second tip I have for you is meditating during a nap on your back, specifically 2 to 3 hours after you wake up in the morning. This really helps us get into that dreamy state, but we have a lot of conscious awareness to take into the nap. So most times that I go to lay down for a nap, I usually at least get sleep paralysis or at least a small lucid dream, but I will most likely have some sort of experience during a nap. You don't have to lay on your back. I would definitely recommend laying in a position that you don't normally sleep in. So if you usually sleep on your back and that just helps you relax so much that you fall asleep, then maybe try laying on your side. For me, I never really sleep on my back, but I can get relaxed on my back. So that's why I decide to meditate and try to be in like a light nap in that position, because it usually results in some sort of experience. So kind of mess around with that and see what works for you. And the last tip I have for you is go through your dream journal weekly and ask yourself when you could have gotten lucid in those dreams. Were there any weird dream signs or anything that stood out that you totally could have gotten lucid from? Definitely just start being more critical of your dreams, even the dreams that are past. You know, the dreams in your dream journal. Really start to get used to pointing things out. Oh, I could have got lucid there, or I could have realized I was dreaming there and there. And then you will start to be able to naturally point those out when you are in the dream. Alright guys, so I hope this helps you. Please let me know if you have any questions about the false awakenings or lucid dreams or even out-of-body experiences that you have been experiencing. And if you're interested in inducing lucid dreams in 30 days or less, make sure to check out my 40-part lucid dreaming video course that you can find in the description, and make sure to use half off for 50% off. This discount will be going away soon, so if you are interested in joining the lucid dreaming community on there, now is definitely the time if you want to lock in that discount. And if you want access to one-on-one coachings, if you want to be able to influence the content that I create, have access to polls and be entered into my giveaways for my services or even my acrylic paintings that I do, then make sure to go check out Patreon. The link is in the description as well. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining this video. As always, I'm sending you endless love and endless lucidity.